coming around on Pryor's Place. On Pryor's Place. There's this old Richard Pryor show called Pryor's Place. I had never heard of it, and I just watched it. Ray Parker Jr. does as hell. Just like this shit. So, why Pan-Africans will not debate Abo'S or Indians? Look, check this out. What I'm noticing, and I'm not saying that this is what everybody's doing, but from what I'm noticing is this is mainly what's going on
within our community. And I just wanted to, bring those points to the table as some suggestions and comments.
No, I like those.
Good job, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Right now, on Q Butter's page, and shout out to Q Butter. Like I said, shout out to everybody. Everybody's just trying to learn. Everybody's just doing their thing. But it's like right now they're talking about, you should be proven through your lineage and stuff like that. Now, here's the thing to me. I believe in genealogy. I think that's great. I think people should use it. The problem comes in when it's through your genealogy that we're hearing about this Abo Indian thing. It wasn't like white people said that. Like that's the thing that makes me laugh. When people are like, "Oh, you're acting like your grandma is your 16, grandparents or your 8 grandparents." No. That's not the point. The point is that's not a white person. That's not an Indian. So why, excuse my language, are these niggas talking about being Indians? Why would they be saying that? Because you're talking about going through your genealogy. Okay, well, isn't it your people that's telling you about being stolen from Africa and Egypt and all this great stuff? Okay, so how are they credible because they're verifying Africa, but your grandma's not credible for verifying America? Whatever. To me, I'm seeing this is going on because Aboriginal Power was saying it. He's like, "Yo, they won't debate me." He's like, "Bro, I'm challenging them. I'm asking them. They won't debate me." There's another person because there's a couple debates actually coming up soon. But this backward talks with all these new random people and all their, weird explanations on why it is impossible for, Black Americans to be what they call Indian. Now, me personally, because I can show you something else. I'm not the type to, discredit Africans. That's not my thing. We can do that in the beginning, talking crap, just being funny. But that's not my thing. My thing is not talking crap about Africans because what does that matter? When you can pull up stuff like this, it's like, all right, bro, somebody's full of crap. Somebody's not making any sense. Because how would I even have this? Now, from the hairdress, you're not going to call it an African. You can see what he's reaching for in his back. He's reaching for an arrow. So we can see what this is. You ain't got no statues of no Africans with no headdress like that. So my question becomes, why? Why, if there isn't any over here before Columbus and, everybody that's Black over here is from the slave trade and they have to be African because, Indians look a certain way when, I'm showing you this right here. Okay, guys, look, let's say this. Let's say I can show what other people depicted American Indians to look like. Let's say it like that. Now, they're saying this is an Italian blackamoor bust of an American native. So that means an Italian blackamoor made this, but they're not, saying that this is what they look like. They're saying this is what the American natives that they've seen, this is what they look like. So if people are going to argue with DNA and stuff like that, it's like, why do I need DNA? Why do I need DNA if they're showing me what these people look like prior to these people coming over here? Like, why do I... Hold on. Look at this. These are all old things. And they're not mine. They're not mine. They're before TV propaganda racism and the way that people are looking at stuff today. It's like, why would this be? And they're like, no, it's impossible for you to claim these as American. They haven't always been here. There you go. That's what they love to say. They haven't always been here. They're new people and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Now, I brought up something. I tried to get on Garfield's channel last night, but he was so packed, and then my computer messed up. I was on there. I was on the screen. Like, I got a snapshot to prove it, but my computer messed up. So somebody else got the slot, and it was packed. And I think it was like maybe another 30 minutes in, and he was done. But it's all good. It is what it is. But mainly we're getting these. We're getting back discussions on how can you prove, because their whole thing is, well, ours is archived, ours is in the books, ours is what they're saying it is, so I'm going to always beat you when it comes to information. My whole thing is, if you take the credibility of the fact that you integrated and you went into their way of thinking, their public system, if that is the case, then you're going with the status quo of what happened when the UN was created. I've already shown all this information. I've already shown that the UN is created, and then 2 years later, they changed Hindustan into India. Then in the 50s, they do all this civil rights stuff just to get to the 60s and change the Negro and the Indian into two different names. It's all right there. People are saying that this government is Gestapo and COINTELPRO, so they got all this, but they don't have all this. Like, what are you saying? You're just going in circles, and we're not getting anywhere. And there's a reason for it, because the whole Back to Africa movement was CIA. It was given to us by them. That's why you can find J. Edgar Hoover pictures of him young, looking like a brother. He's mixed breed. They've already documented it. You know what I'm saying? He has black or African ancestry. He's a mixed breed. So he's looking for the black messiah, but he's black himself. And it's like, that's their whole point, that these, white devils are against us and all this different stuff. But then you got Elijah Muhammad going to Klan meetings. You know what I'm saying? You got assassinations taking place that are just not adding up. They're fugazi. So it's like, what do you want me to say? They're just doing it for no reason? They're just doing it for no reason. Yeah, they're not really kidnapping the kids. They're not brainwashing nobody. Nothing's really going on, but these people are claiming that, they're in poverty because of these people, and there's all this stuff going on, and they're putting it out in the social media and stereotypes and all this. It's like, dude, it doesn't make any sense. It only works for them. Like, you can tell that Black Power is an offshoot of leftist ideology. You can tell, because it's only right if they're doing it. It's the same fight with them and the Republicans. They do this all the time. It's only right if they're doing it. So if I'm telling you that the left has all the slaves. They're the ones with all the groups. All these people, it doesn't matter what clique, Crip, Blood, 5%er, Vice Lord, Latin King, it does not matter. All their parents have indoctrinated these groups in a leftist ideology. All of them. All of them are like that. All of them are rebellious as hell. So, in saying that, to me, it's like they don't want us to look at this information because at the end of the day, they know that it would be like they have to throw everything that they had away. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big fight. Like the Aboriginal Indian thing, like they got to realize you're trying to take science from people that have like 70 years, bro, and then they're getting other old information like slave stories. You know, they've been really indoctrinated with a woe is me thing. So it's going to be hard for you to get them to let that go without them looking at it like they're disrespecting their ancestors, even though they are disrespecting their ancestors. That's what's so crazy about it. It's like, how do you claim that you're representing these people when these people made cities? Y'all haven't made no fucking towns at all, excuse my language, but ever since you've been a Democrat, you ain't built nothing. You ain't built nothing. You make empires that you sell. You know what I'm saying? Rockefeller sold it. The original No Limit record sold it. Death Row been sold like a $3 hoe so many times. So many people didn't buy Death Row records. It's like Snoop just finally bought it, but it wasn't even Snoop's originally. So it's like y'all just play around. And you get mad because people are going a whole nother route where they're like, maybe we should give a damn about the land that we own. Maybe we should care about, you know, the possibility of we aren't from nowhere. We are, you know, holding claim to the rock, and maybe that will make people more responsible on it. But if you keep telling people they're from somewhere else and they don't have nothing to do with anything great here, hell yeah, they're gonna be, you know, destructive and ignorant. And it's like, that's the crazy thing. Why do these leftists and these Pan-Africans only talk about slavery and civil rights? That's all they talk about. And then they get into their little boule dudes. You know what I'm saying? All they scholars and stuff. And it's like, what do you mean black scholar? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? None of y'all talking about George Washington Carver. This dude made 300 things out of one thing. He made 300 ways to use the peanut, bro. Why are we talking about people like that? Why are we talking about people that had feel-good talk? That's all they did was talk. Malcolm X, talk. Martin Luther King, talk. That's all it was, talk. What? What they do for you? What? Give me the honest truth. What they do? There's no Malcolm X garden. There ain't. There's no Martin Luther King bank. What are you talking about? What did they do for you? Nothing. They put your parents on that same mission that your parents tried to put you on, that preachy ghost mission, where you're supposed to just be waiting on something, or yeah, you do a march down the street and throw a rock in a damn restaurant that's from your people, messing up your own business. Y'all don't never do that stuff where it counts. You ain't never done that in Hollywood. Y'all ain't never been to the, you know, the Hilton Hotel and make some noise. Like, come on, man, knock it off. So it's a joke. They got your people wasting their years arguing about a place that ain't none of them gonna go on some straight Black Panther shit. That's why I don't like that fucking movie. I hate that movie. That movie was the stupidest idea ever to come up. For one, it's a Jew who made it. You know what I'm saying? He changed his name, Stan Lee. That's not even his real name. That's a Jewish dude. He made it. Okay? So it's their idea. Why you think at the end of it, a Black Panther gives the vibranium to Captain America? Bro, in the beginning of the movie, he clearly sees the ghetto. So he sees the condition that his people is in. Why the hell would he give it to the dude who put him in there? That don't make no damn sense. So it's like the whole concept of lusting over your skin instead of getting some real information is bogus. You know what I'm saying? That shit didn't even work for the white dude. The old hillbilly lost. Remember, they lost the war. So, you know, just, oh, I'm great because I'm Black. And man, knock that shit off, man. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We're telling you that that's a opposition scheme that they came up with in the 60s to argue about being different from white, even though they the punk motherfuckers who are integrating. Excuse my language. That don't make no damn sense. How you gonna call yourself Black? Come on, yeah, because we're different from white. Like they asked you to come. They didn't even want you in there. You the one going over there. Oh, we having a Dunbar. Hello, we know the truth, bruh. We know the truth. In Washington D.C., at all places, y'all have one of the best schools ever. I just did the video. Y'all were 80% graduating. Smart as hell. Y'all knew Greek. Y'all knew Latin. Y'all was some smart ass black people back in the day. Like, knock it off. Who pushed you to integrate? Who made you do that shit? And that's where the argument is always going to be between Martin and Malcolm. One of them knew what they was talking about, and one of them didn't. The only thing is, Malcolm was on his own. That's the weird thing about it. Even though he was talking about separating from the white man, you got to remember who he dealing with. Elijah, first of all, got his message from a half original man, and he having meetings with the Ku Klux Klan. So it's like you have to look at it for what it is. It don't matter what they say out in the front. It matters what's really going on in the background. And facts is facts. Once Malcolm was oddballed and didn't have nowhere to go, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I still don't believe that he was murdered. I don't believe it because the story don't add up. It's weird. It's 21 shots. He only got 3 pellets in his chest. He got ketchup stains on him. Somebody was able to take the picture right there in the front. It's Time magazine. We already see it straight up. It's like he didn't bleed out. It was a shotgun. This makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? On his autopsy report, his name is Malcolm X. His real name is Malcolm Little. Why wouldn't his real name be on there? Then where was his social security number? He didn't have a social on there. So it's like, bro, this doesn't make any sense. The dude's been locked up in the pen, all different types of shit. They don't have his social. They don't know his real last name. It's like, this is bogus. But whatever. You know, people want to take that. I'm saying all them stories left us emotional and weird, and you like skipped out on the Boule, which is the black offshoot of the Masons. So it's like, why do you keep saying that they're different? How the fuck are they different if they integrated? You telling me these motherfuckers they had conversations, man? You bogus. They put Barack Hussein up there. Nobody even realized that the Shriners are in the back. They all practicing some Muslim I self Lord and Master shit. Okay, they put Barack Hussein Obama in there. You're telling me that they didn't put him in there? And he was the one who said that the first people to acknowledge this as a nation was Morocco. So it's like, if Obama's stating that shit out there, why is he telling secrets? Why is he saying shit that he shouldn't know, but he do know? And you don't. Because these dudes is goofy, bro. They want you on either some Black Panther, woe is me, you know, hate white man stuff, or they want you on some religious, whether it's any of the monotheistic religions. That's why it don't matter which way you go, you're going to bump your head into one of them. You're going to either be a Hebrew Israelite, you're going to be a Christian, or you're going to bump your head into that Muslim shit, and then you're going to run into the Shriners, the fucking Circle Southern Quran, all that shit. You're going to run into the more stuff, all of it right here. Bye. So you pick your poison on that one because they've been had that shit and none of it's working. Why? Why are we 31 trillion in debt? And all black people can argue about right now is whether, you know, celebrities or, you know, the man versus the woman dynamic, or Snowfall, or what's next on the you know, BMF. And it's like, bruh, technology don't mean that you're safe. It don't matter how, you know, advanced the system is. That don't mean you're advancing. And might be, you know, slipping that because it's like, bro, when these motherfuckers pull the plug on this whole situation, it's gonna be straight anarchy. And where are you gonna have to go? Nowhere, because you have nowhere to go. Why? Because you're the fucking American Indian. They're just running your shit into the dirt, so somebody else can take over and fuck it up even more. And it's like, you ain't even holding, you know, the fort down because you too busy trying to be black, arguing about white people, worried about some shit you never even went through. It's like you're worried about something you never even went through. Even if you want to say you're an African slave, when did you get off the boat, nigga? Once you like step out of the fucking movie, like step out of the movie, bro. It's a movie, bro. You're watching it on TV. You ain't never went through none of that shit. So you should never let your brain be played out like that. You should never let people, you know, feed the dopamines in your brain to make you feel like some tragic event is taking place. It's like, do you know what that does to the heart, to the mind? And it's like, people wonder why black people be dying from high blood pressure. It ain't just fucking what you eating, it's also what you putting in your head, what you putting in your mind. You know what I'm saying? To make you so radical and wild out when and ain't nothing getting done. It's different if you radical and shit's getting built. Yeah, go ahead and have a little attitude. But if you just mean and just wilding and ain't nothing, positive being done, there's an issue in that. And that's going to be my argument to both sides. You know what I'm saying? The Abo'S and the Pan Africans. Like, look, at the end of the battle, y'all gonna have to come up with a solution, though. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't just be, oh, these people are crazy and they don't know what they're talking about and they ain't got no proof. Honestly, your black ass ain't got no proof because you ain't got no cousins. That's the weird thing. People can talk about paper, they can talk about DNA tests, they can talk about movies, they can talk about flags, they can talk about cliques, crews, whatever. It don't matter. You ain't pulled out one cousin yet. Not one. Not one from West Africa. You thought you was slick with your little Masonic ass. You dipped right to Egypt. Just like the white dude, you dipped right to Egypt. Right there. That's where you went. You motherfuckers is not clever, but think they slick. They're not. All these motherfuckers went right here. That's exactly where they went. That's where they monkey ass went. They went right here. For some weird reason, everybody in this motherfucker, it went straight to this. It went straight to this, just like the white boy. It went straight to that. They ain't go nowhere else. We're gonna stick right where we want them to go. You know what I'm saying? The Bible. Oh, hate Egypt, booty boo, but back in dollar bill, they rocking Egypt. Okay. These black people. We built the pyramids, all these different stuff. Go right to Egypt. Now, think about it. You got Timbuktu, you got ancient Mali, you got Songhai, you got all this stuff that went down in West Africa. They ain't talking none of that. But that's where they from. Makes you think. And they're like, oh, they're ashamed. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That don't even make no sense. A lot of y'all motherfuckers came from Kool-Aid. Motherfucking high and go get it. Red light, green light. That my car. Motherfucker, you got a lot of shit to be embarrassed about if you want to act like that. Dirty ass shoes and shit, 12 piled up in one fucking room. You're like, bro, we all know what hard times is. We not knocking that. It happens. It's life. But it ain't nothing to be proud of. So I'm saying that in the sense of what are we talking about? How are we proud of some people that sold us? Then you want to be buddy cool with them, representing their shit, and you got 50,000 patents over here. Not even just to mention all the music that you created. You basically created American fucking music. What are you talking about? You created the economy for music, guys. Every bit of it, you created all of it. But you ain't got no ownership. 50,000 patents you created. You ain't got no ownership. Okay, why? Maybe because these motherfuckers want you to be a foreigner. Maybe because they don't want you to own anything. They want you from African bad when everything you did was in America. Even your slave story, every piece of cotton you picked was in America. Nothing happened in Africa. Nothing has to do with Africa at all. So why are we debating this? Oh, I got DNA. Well, you know it's so weird. This dude put the dinosaur bones together, right? Without the DNA. So he's telling me this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, even though without the blood to determine it was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. But now he's taking blood from mummies and he knows this because, it's the blood and, I know how to rate stuff, all different types of stuff. Now, here's the oddball question to me. If I know that bone deteriorates after a certain amount of time, how is he testing dead bodies and linking me up with people from 200 years ago today, but no cousins? Nobody has any relatives they met. Nothing. Nobody. They ain't linked. You have, think about it. If 23andMe worked that good, you would literally see people linking up with their African cousins. You would see them keeping, we family, yes, no. Nothing like that is happening at all. Even with white people. Nothing like that is happening. It's such a scam. You don't even see white people talking about that. It's funny. Ancestries.com. It started out with them. Black people flooded it. Now, look, you don't even hear white people talk about stuff like that. You don't even talk about it. If they say it's for entertainment purposes only. Of course, because how, at the end of the day, can you connect somebody with a dead body from thousands of years ago with no bones? Like, you're just going off DNA. You're telling me I'm from this area. You're from over here. Yes, this is where all this blood is from. This is this area. They're like, you got haplogroups and all the. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to genomes and haplogroups in that manner, I believe it on animals and plants. I do believe it because they're still alive. You know what I'm saying? If I'm rating a plant, it's based off the living. You know what I'm saying? It's living around. All right. You cannot connect some blood with a region from a living person and tell me I'm connected to some people with no verification from these actual people. You're not giving me anything. You just give me a piece of paper. Our trajectory says that your bloodline establishes in this region of the world. That's it. Okay, well, who put the establishment of these blood types around the world? What do you mean? Like, who's in charge of taking the list of where they found all these bloods and claiming that these are the areas that they're from? Oh, us. Who? Umbrella? What? What do you do? Skynet? Huh? Come on, guys. Like, can you verify all these scientists that went all around the world, took every piece of blood from every region collectively, and then lined them up and then said that this is where these bloods are from? Nobody, like, this is so damn stupid. And they're like, well, you're just doubting science. Well, after the pandemic, I don't see why I wouldn't. And then mainly, I'm not doubting science. I'm saying at the end of the day, you'd have to be a fool for you to make me believe that they have every blood type on earth. But when Senator Elizabeth Warren just went for her Native American test, not only did they not find any Native American in her, but they also said that you can't even determine if a person has Native American blood. You can't. They're like, there's no real determination because they killed off so many of them. So many of them died from smallpox. They got these motherfuckers stuffed in these reservations, these casinos. But no. There's no way to determine. Like, it's funny when you really get into this discussion. I'm not mad at people, like I said, that want to be African. There's nothing wrong with it. My argument is, are you African? And are you only African based off of a story? And then later on, all the way in the 80s, some guy comes out and says, I have a test that I can test your blood and tell if you're related to some people hundreds of thousands of miles away from you. And it's 400, like, not even just distance, it's like time travel distance away from you. And this is who you are. You know what I'm saying? like, this is who you are. Then also take in mind, this dude, like, he's at a certain port. He's getting these slaves and stuff. He can't remember none of their tribes. He can't even remember the people he's doing business with. Nothing. How did he know what to call them? Just like, why did he go to Africa, take some Africans, know he was dealing with Africans, and then get all the way to America and start speaking Spanish? But only one word. Only one word he speaks in Spanish, and that's Negro. Why would he do that? Why would he call him Negro? You got some Africans. This is so weird. This don't make no damn sense. It's just shit don't add up. Y'all let me know though, man. I'm wondering who gonna win this war, because to me it's a landslide. There's no way that the Pan-African stuff could work because you've had it for too long and it hasn't worked. So that's a checkmate within itself. But whatever. I'll stay tuned. Shit. Hope y'all do too. Holla.